Good afternoon and welcome back to Questioning Sense with me, Matt. As you can see, the hat is still here. Our bet is a bet. Beautiful day again. The sun is streaming in and I've just come back from a rousing game of football in the garden with my son, who is very patiently sitting in the corner of this room while we get this video filmed. Now, basically, because we're not going out anywhere or anything along those lines and we're trying to stay safe, we're trying to stay sane, I've kind of been revisiting a lot of samples in the evenings and sort of kind of fantasizing about being able to get back out there into stores and sniff perfumes and thinking about, you know, what future purchases I was going to make. And I'm sure you're exactly the same. So I thought today what we'll do is a quick video. We're going to have a look at a lot of different fragrances in a really, really quick way. These are all fragrances that I don't own as yet. And these are all fragrances that are going to be on my list of potential purchases. So we'll have a look at them and, you know, a quick run through, a little bit of a talk about what they are, what they're like, why I like them and why I think they might be, you know, worth sampling for you guys. So first and foremost, we're going to start with an old classic. Recently I was down in Kent at a flea market and I found this, which is a very old bottle of Polo Green. Now I'm going to be using this for a video coming up where I look at sort of my favourite green fragrances. But those of you that know me or have watched this video, watched our videos before, will know that I'm used to wear this all the time. Back in the sort of late 80s, early 90s, this was my signature scent, and I've not smelt it in such a long time. To get hold of a bottle, or, you know, it's a 7.5 ml tiny bottle, but to get hold of this has instantly sort of transported me back to those days. So this is really, really enjoyable. It's a real tonic and a real trip down memory lane for me. But this is, I'm, you know, sort of debating whether, because I've got Italian Cypress, I've got Mousse Illuminé, I've obviously got Halston Z14, so I'm trying to debate and think, is it worth trying to find a vintage bottle in case I have to pay a lot of money for it? If I have to pay too much for it, I probably wouldn't be interested. But that's something that I think everyone should have a sniff off again, because it is such an iconic fragrance. And it's beautiful. It's really, really good. Obviously, you've got like green, earthy frags, but really, really nice fragrance and a real trip down memory lane for me. So that is certainly something that I may be looking to get. Now, I've also been very, very lucky. A while ago, I was speaking to a very, very, very talented perfumer called Rajesh, who's sent me all the way from the States some of his work. Now, he did a couple of perfumes with Prin, and he did another one with Disseur. So I've been wearing Keyman by Disseur, which is absolutely astoundingly beautiful, Aranyaka from Prin, and Haksan, also from Prin. So these are ones I've been wearing, but unfortunately, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to own them because they've all finished. They've all been, you know, they've run their course effectively, and they're out of stock, and there's no more of them left. So these are kind of a real sparing treat. So these samples aren't ones that I'm looking to get a bottle of. They're just ones that I'm going to enjoy for the beauty. I mean, wearing Aranyaka today, this has got to be the most exciting, incensey, green, foresty, animalic fragrance I've ever smelled. It's absolutely stunning. Keyman and Haksan, again, all complex, incredibly rich, exotic fragrances, lots of naturals in there, blending with the synthetics to make these amazing perfumes with real depth. And there's real artistry to these as well. These are kind of exactly what you would want from a niche perfume. They're beautiful, beautiful fragrances and very, very unique as well. So I've been enjoying these three. So that's Keyman from Disseur, that's Haksan, and Aranyaka from Prin. Okay, so over to something else. I have also been really enjoying from Omar Luxury, Oud Aqualaria. This is a fruity oud. It's a very strong apple oud type affair. The oud is very, very minimal though. It takes a long time for it to appear. There's a little bit of spice in there as well. And it's not a particularly oudy fragrance, but I was really, really stunned when I finally got around to trying The Promise by Frederic Malle. They smell almost identical, and interestingly, the Promise and Oud Aqualaria are both made by Dominic Ropignon, so he's almost replicated the scent twice. This is a lot cheaper than the Frederic Malle offering. I think performance-wise, this probably drops off a little bit quicker than the Frederic Malle, the Promise, but this is excellent, really, really good. If you like a fruity oud with great projection and great sillage, and this is a heck of a lot cheaper than the Frederic Malle one, so have a look at that. Jovoy sell it, so have a look at the Jovoy website if you were looking to sort of investigate it further or try and get some samples. But highly recommended. Oud Aqualaria. This is a fruity oud for people that don't particularly like oud. So a really, really good one there. Now, talking of oud, another one I've been revisiting is Mamluk from Gerof's Oud Stars collection. I've tried this quite a few times and I must say I'm absolutely in love with it. It's a little bit sweeter than a lot of fragrances that I would normally go for. The main notes or the main accord that comes across is like this honeyed oud, and it is very sweet. It's a very, very strong fragrance, very, very long lasting, huge projection, really strong sillage, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. In fact, I really would like to have a bottle of this like tomorrow, but obviously that's not going to happen. So yeah, Mamluk, well worth sampling. Another one, the oud in this is really impressive because it actually doesn't smell synthetic at all. It smells like a real oud, and it's because it's surrounded by so much honey, it's not overly dominant, it doesn't blow you away. It's just a really, really nice fragrance, and one that I strongly suggest that you try if you can get your hands on it. Love this stuff, and this could well become a full bottle. Now, onto a different house. 4,160 Tuesdays is a house that I'm really impressed with. I don't own any of their fragrances as yet, but that could change very soon. The two that I'm really, really enjoying is Over the Chocolate Shop, which is a beautiful fragrance. It's chocolatey, and it's basically a celebration of chocolate, but it's not overly sweet. It's kind of deep and warming, and there's so much going on with this. It's a real difficult one to explain accurately, and one that I strongly recommend that you sample because it's a real banger. I think you're going to love it. And the other one that has really, really got me going is called Be Careful What You Wish For. This is like this is a fruity oud again, but there's about 6 or 7 different types of oud in this, and it's a very, very complex fragrance, but it's not funky, it's not screeching, it's not, there's no animalics to it in that respect. It's not like a barnyard or any of the classic cliches that we always talk about when we're talking about oud. This is a beautiful fruity oud, and if you've ever swiped a Cambodian oud, you'll know that oud itself is like a fruity, woody smell, and that conveys this perfectly. Apparently there's something in this called white oud, which I've never come across before, but I'm so enjoying this at the moment. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. If you can get hold of a sample, in fact, I strongly recommend the 4,160 Tuesdays sample sets. Is something that you should really, really explore because they make so many interesting perfumes. Really, really well made, absolutely astounding quality. And Sarah McCartney, the lady who's behind it, she's just awesome. She's social media presence is great. She's really, really supportive of the industry. She's an absolute fountain of knowledge. And I think, for these smaller niche houses, we need to look after them because it's, the world's going through some testing times and it's going to put a lot of strain on a lot of businesses. And I think, going forward when this clears up, and my purchases will tend to probably be going towards a smaller artisan or niche independent retailers, because big companies have got massive sort of collections of designer fragrances that anyone can buy. Us that or people like us that are more interested in fragrances, we need to work a little bit harder and go that little bit further to find fragrances that we find more interesting. And these smaller independent and niche houses, they're going to be the places we're going to need to go to crave our desires for more interesting and unique perfumes. And if they're not making them, where are we going to get them? So we need to support these guys. So I think definitely out of all of these, the Be Careful What You Wish For is probably the one that I'm most likely to purchase. Anyway, moving on, there's a couple more. This is another one, and I'm just going to completely reverse what I've said, and this is Apom Homme from Maison Francis Coeur de Jean. This is about the 6th or the 7th time I've tested this, and it's beautiful. It's basically an orange blossom, powdery, masculine fragrance. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Amouage's Reflection Man, but this for a lighter kind of florally type fragrance. This has really, really good performance, and it's It's beautiful. It's really warm. It's just light. It's airy. It's a breath of fresh air. Gets compliments like nothing on earth as well. Really, really. I mean, I was recently in Madrid with my family and some friends, and if you follow us on Instagram, you'll have seen that I put up quite a lot of photos of what I was wearing when I was in Madrid, and I wore this to travel over to Madrid and got a compliment in the bar at the airport while you know, wearing this. So it's certainly it's got that kind of mass appeal to it. It's an uncomplicated fragrance, but a really nice wear. I highly recommend that you try this as well, especially if you like Reflection Man or things like that. You'll find they don't smell alike if you put them side by side, but they both do the same sort of thing. So really, really worth having a look at. And then finally, also is one that I've kind of, I thought I'd set myself up to buy this actually. This is Enigma Parfum Cologne from Roger Dove, which is one that is a really expensive fragrance, but I thought I'll put some money aside, and then maybe at the end of the year, I'll treat myself to a bottle. You know, obviously I review quite a lot of expensive fragrances, but they're never bought from a store. They're always bought in groups, and they're always bought as partials, or, you know, I go the cheapest possible route to add to my collection. So a lot of them have been bought for next to nothing because, you know, there's not a great deal of liquid left in them. You know, very, very rare would I go out and buy something full retail. It just doesn't, you know, I've got too much perfume to do that. So Enigma was one, or Enigma Parfum Cologne was one that I thought I might actually do that with, because I tried it in store, loved it. I then bought a decant of it from a friend. This is a 10ml decant, and it's beautiful. You have to try this one. It's an incredibly difficult one to describe. It's almost like a lime rum and coke that gets a bit powdery. There's a bit of vanilla in it. The performance is excellent. It sits quite close to your skin, but it has really good, it really pushes out well for the first couple of hours. So I was kind of, this would be, you know, if I bought this would be a real treat fragrance. This would be an evening out with my wife that I'll wear, you know, something like that. Now the problem was, I saved it to the last day in Madrid when we were travelling back from the airport. I sprayed it in the morning, and as we were leaving the apartment that we rented for the weekend, my wife said, "What's that perfume you're wearing?" And I explained what it was, and she said, "I'm so sorry, Matt. It makes me feel quite sick." And I thought, oh God, because we were out now. We were on our way to the airport. You know, we were going out for a couple of drinks, have some lunch, and then go to the airport and fly home with, you know, family and friends and all the rest of it. So I had no way of changing it, and I was obviously sitting next to my wife on the flight home. So she, bless her, had to put up with me wearing something that actually really did. There's something in that made my wife feel physically sick. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of that decant that I've just chucked on the floor, and I don't think I'm going to be able to treat myself to a bottle of that, because, you know, the occasions when I want to be wearing it will be occasions where I'm going out with my wife, and I can't wear a perfume that makes my wife feel sick. That's just doesn't make sense. So that's not going to happen. So I'm going to keep sampling. I've got a ton more to get through and find and just enjoy sampling to keep that sort of spirit of, what's the word I'm looking for here? Spirit of perfume adventure alive whilst we are sort of quarantined and, you know, isolated from the rest of the world. So hopefully you've all got a load of samples that you can be sort of sniffing away, because it is a really good way of keeping your nose going, of keeping your mind sharp and keeping your sort of passion alive, and also staving off the boredom, which is grabbing us all. So listen, I hope you're doing well. Rich hopes you're doing well. We're going to keep the videos coming. We're going to keep them coming out. And thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for your subscriptions. As I said in the video yesterday, and a few of you have messaged me on Instagram, I'm more than happy to have a chat. You know, any questions, any queries, or if there's anything, if you just want to have a natter with someone about perfume, then please, please, please message us. And if you know, just to help you keep a little bit sane. And also it's good because we like to get to know you guys as well. So listen, as always, thank you very much for your time. Please stay safe out there. And please don't go mad. Take care. See you on the next video. Cheers and bye.